Hello, everyone. It is Dawn with Shall We Stamp. I am coming to you live from windy Key West, Florida. So give me just a minute as you all come in, and as you know, in the group, please mention your name as you make your comment that you're here. If you're new, let me know where you're from. And Facebook does not allow, for whatever reason, while we're in groups, for me to see your names. So let me go in here and see if I can get the comments to add. Now look at that, it comes up tonight, so I should be able to see your comments. So anyways, welcome everyone. I'm trying to get myself situated here. I swear I feel like I'm in a boat. Hi Debbie Cox. I feel like I'm in a boat because this thing is rocking and rolling. I mean, the wind is just howling. It's just unbelievably 20 to 30 miles an hour, 30 knots, whatever it is. So it's quite rocking and rolling. That's all I can tell you. So, but we're going to have fun. We're going to get 3 cards done this evening. So, hello, watching in Virginia. That's probably my friend Faye from the Eastern Shore. And make sure you all leave a comment and or share the video. 1, it helps me to reach out to find more crafters that may want to follow me. And 2, it puts you in the drawing to win the cards that I'm going to be creating this evening. So, I'm sorry I'm turning my head. I am, oh, nothing like y'all can see my trash can. Oh my God. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. So, anyway, so we are we got here, we went to Palm Beach for, I think it was 5 or 6 days. We had great weather. Chuck and I played pickleball every day, every morning. Went to the pool and kind of just hung out. We get here to Key West Sunday, and it's in like 72, 73. Not, weather's not bad, but it's windy as all you know what. I mean, it is just wind everywhere, and we haven't been able to do a whole lot. Excuse me. We haven't been able to do a whole lot. We've gone to the pool. We did go to a market, like a art market and craft, with fresh vegetables and all that stuff. Second time watching me. Well, I'm glad you came back to my craziness. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? So we'll see. It's a comedy hour. But anyways, so we went there because we were looking for pictures to put in our RV, and I don't know, well, you can't see it. I should turn the picture around, so the camera around, so you can see. When we were in Jensen Beach in December, hang on a minute, I have to yell at my dog. Riley, get over here. I'm sorry. She's trying to dig into the trash. Get over here and lay down. We bought a fish for the wall, and it's really, really pretty. So we're looking for some other pictures, and we went to this market Sunday afternoon. We ended up buying a pelican that I love. I love pelicans. I've been infatuated with them forever. And a conch tree. I'll have to show you. I'll have to take a picture and show it to you next week. They're just absolutely stunning. So anyways, welcome everyone. Hi Karen. Oh, your new RV owners. Oh, what type of RV did you get? And where do you live? Hi Faye. Let me know. We're in Florida, in the Villages, so we've been trying to hang out in the Villages. I mean, in the Villages. We're trying to stay within Florida. We're getting ready to, starting next Monday, those of us that are 60, I'm 62, so anybody 60 and above can get your shots. So I'm hoping to get some vaccine appointments, so that would be awesome. So we're trying to stay within, we're still social distancing, even though my husband's had both of his shots. So we're still social distancing, and I'm trying to obviously be safe and stay away from people and all that fun stuff. So anyways, but I welcome everyone. We're going to give it a couple more minutes just to let those, it's 7:03. We'll let the other ones pop in. If not, they'll just have to come on and watch what they missed on the replay. So you live in Virginia. Oh, we're at in Virginia because that's where I'm from. Got a used Ford motorhome. All right. We're at in Virginia. I'm from Virginia Beach. I was born in the old Portsmouth Naval Hospital and grew up in the Virginia Beach area. And the last place I lived was off of Rosemont Road in Windsor Oaks Forest, I think it was. Windsor. Anyways, I had a nice house, 2-story house back there on the water. Well, you call it water. And anyways, Well, I hope you enjoy your motorhome. It's I'm clicking stuff off the thing. We've got a Tiffin Allegro. It's 33 feet, and we tow the car. Normally, when we come to Key West, we don't tow it, but since we went to Palm Beach, we brought the car because we needed a car in Palm Beach. Here, we can ride our bikes or take the bus. So anyways, welcome everybody. Spotsylvania, are you a new user or a new visitor? I don't think I've seen anybody from Spotsylvania. Hi, Indiana. That's probably Patricia. And anyway, so it's been rocking and rolling. I was just saying, for those that are just joining, the winds are blowing like 20 to 30. And they're going to be like this until we leave on Sunday. So, oh well, that's all right. But not so bad right now, but earlier, like an hour ago, I swear to God, I felt like I was in a boat because it was like, woo, we're rocking and rolling. So anyways, but you know, it's okay. It's all right. Oh, so you live back in the Virginia Beach in the 70s. Yeah, well, I was there too. So I moved away in 2012 when we came to the Villages. So, all right. Well, let's see. It is 7:05, so I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera down. Keep up with your comments. And we are going to, and I'm sure that this is not the first time you're going to see this stamp set. So let me flip the camera down. Oops, hang on a minute. There we go. And we are going to work with the Butterfly Brilliance, which I'm sure you all have seen. And this stamp, and I'm going to show you one other tool. This is all one big piece. Isn't that cool? And I love this. So we're going to use the Stamparatus tonight, and I'll go over that with you. And anyone that's new, please let me know if you are, she can't see your name, by the way. Oh, yeah. I can't see the names while we're in the group setting. So if you'll just state your name when you come on, that would be awesome. You don't have to, but if you want your name to be drawn, I mean, I'll see it when I go into Facebook myself, but when we do the... when Facebook's doing groups, they don't post your name. So it's fine. If you don't want to put your name on there, it's okay. But so anyway, so I'm sure you all have seen this. So this is the bundle. You get 2 of these. You get 12 butterflies. Now these are all individual ones that you can see. They're very intricate, right? So that will cut those. Now this one is all one big piece. So that cuts off the stamp that we just did. And then these are a single butterfly here. And I don't know, does he go on that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he goes on this one. Oh, he goes over here. Why is he in that one? I don't know. Maybe he goes on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, he goes on this one. Anyways, I'm not quite sure what this is. I haven't figured this out. So if y'all know what this piece is, leave me a comment and let me know. This one I'm assuming is just a little whatever. And I don't know what this is. I'm assuming this could be like the hive. A butterfly. I don't know what this is either. Maybe it's just supposed to be decoration. I don't know. And then we've got 2 small butterflies. So anyways, so this is what we're going to be working with. So, and then we're going to also work with the paper. Now, I just read, and those of you that are demonstrators on here, because I know I've got a couple, you may have already known this. I didn't. Now, this stamp set's going to be carried over into the new catalog, just to let you know. However, let me put my dies away because we're not going to be using these. I've already pre-cut everything because otherwise it would take all night. But I did not realize that this beautiful paper is not carrying over into the catalog, and neither is the other paper that comes in this pack if you choose to buy it. It's a real fine, it's a real thin wood grain, and we're going to use a piece of that, so I'll show that to you. So if you like this butterfly paper, make sure that you purchase it before the end of this catalog because it won't be available after that. Oh, Linda Brady, watching in Spotsylvania, lived in Virginia Beach in the 70s. Oh, you're the new RV owner. Oh, how great. Oh, exciting. Well, if you want places to go, let me know. My husband researches everything, so just reach out to me. So we're going to be using this paper, and I'm sure you all have seen this around, but this is just so gorgeous. So I'm just going to kind of flip through it. It's so colorful, and look at the back. So it's very neutral. Look at those butterflies. Isn't that gorgeous paper? So if you haven't purchased this, there's 48 sheets in this pack, and it's $11.50 if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that cute? Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. So you better snatch up on these little guys when you can. Okay, so we're going to work with this paper, and we're going to work with this stamp, And we're going to work with the Big Shot. So let's see which card. Let's go ahead and do the card. I'm only going to do the one stamp. So let me move this out of the way. Now this is our, I said Big Shot. Oh my Lord. This is the Stamparatus. Now if y'all aren't familiar with the Stamparatus, this is a stamp positioning tool. Kind of like the Misty, if you're familiar with that. And the nice thing about Stampin' Ups is we have our grid right here, so it gives us our inches along the two sides. We do have grid paper that you can purchase that you can put in here so not to mess up the pretty inside. But the nice thing about it is you get two plates. Now I don't have the other plate with me, but you use your plate, and I'll show you when we put the stamp on here. But this, if you like to do like layered stamping in a row, you can lift this up and you move it down and it will space everything out perfectly. So the nice thing about a stamp positioning tool is if you don't put enough ink on your stamping out, sometimes you stamp it and it doesn't stamp all the way, then you just re-ink it and push it down. You don't have to worry about it. And then the other thing is that if you're doing 2 or 3 stamping, you can have 2 plates going at one time. So you can have one here and then one on this side, and then you can put stamps on the front and back so you can pick them up and flip them around. So this is a really nice tool, and it's not that expensive. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's under $50. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty confident it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay my cardstock in here, and I just want to show this to you all. And I'm going to, and we've got magnets. Let me show you that too in case you're new. If you flip this over, it's got some very strong magnets, and you have to be really careful with these because they will grab and won't let go. So, and I'll just place one off to the side. It will hold your paper in position is what it does. And I'm just going to put a little bit of an edge right there, and you can see how it snaps in place. All right, so what I'm going to do is and I didn't bring the Big Shot to cut, it's the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I did not bring, I bought the baby one, but I didn't bring the one for this one. But I'm going to ink this stamp up, and we're going to stamp it, and I'm just going to fussy cut the one out. So you'll put your paper where you've got it positioned, and you can use your magnets or you can use washi tape or whatever to hold it in place, okay? So we're going to lay it right here, all right? And then I'm going to push my plate down, and I'm going to have it cling. Now these are cling stamps, so they're going to automatically cling. See? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cling that. Now I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to stamp all of these in black, and then we're going to come in and color the one that I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to show you, and this is the nice thing when you have big stamps. The Stamparatus works perfect for those. So I'm just going to come in with my black Memento black, and I normally just take it and twist. It's a linen, so I just place it down and do a little twisty action like it's doing the peppermint twist. I like to dance. So we're just going to do a little twisty action and make sure we got enough ink on it. All right, now I'll cut these when I get home. I'll run through the die cutter, but for now I'm just going to cut one out. But I just wanted to show you all how this works. Okay, so there's my my inked up stamp, right? See that? All right, so I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to close this down, and I'm just going to rub pressure all along because you want to make sure that you get your images pushed through, right? My paper's moving. Sorry about that. So what happens, you come from the RVs, Linda, you got to pay attention because you got to pack very sparsely, you know, minimal packing. All right, so I'm going to lift this up. Now, for instance, if I didn't get these dark enough, then I could come back, re-ink this up, right? So I could just push that back down because my paper hasn't moved, and we can just, you know, make sure we've got our ink in there. All right, and that's all. That's how it works. It's perfect. And then if I normally take my big stamps and I clean mine with like a baby wipe or whatever, and then I always put them, I run them under the water to get them clean. So I'm just going to wipe this off, but I'm not going to worry about getting it really clean right now because I'll do it when we get done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my design out, and let me move this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and close this up and put my magnet back, and we're going to place him right there. Okay, so I am going to cut, let me see, which butterfly do I want to use? I think we're going to use this one, so I'm just going to fussy cut. But let me show you the die in case you haven't seen this. Pardon my arm. Let me get it out. So if we were going to die cut this, look at this. You flip it over. Voila! Isn't that great? Look at that. It cuts all of them out at one time. So even if you're not going to use them, at once, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 butterflies already cut, so you can save them for later. Oh, you've been on a motorcycle. Well, Linda, you know how to pack then. Let me tell you, we've got some motorcycle guys across the way that, pack their tent and everything in one little bag. So, but anyway, so that's how we're going to cut. Well, we would normally cut it if I had brought the die cutting machine, and I didn't, but I did that intentionally. I brought the baby one, but I didn't bring the big one. So I'm just going to set that over there for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this one because this is the one we're going to use for the card that we're going to make. And I'll show you that in just a second. So you can fussy cut these too. So if you don't have the dies, you can just fussy cut out your butterflies and color them whatever color you want. So I'm going to set that over there. And let me show you the card that we're going to we'll be making first. That would probably be helpful, wouldn't it? See, it's all a big surprise. Okay, so we're going to be doing this card. And this is using just jade, and it's cut at 8.5, 5.5, 5.5 here by 8.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And then we're going to add a piece of Whisper White, well, basic white or Whisper White. I'm still using Whisper White. So the Whisper White is going to be at 4 by 5.25, and then we're going to cut a piece of the butterfly paper, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'll show you after we cut it, we're going to use the leftover to decorate our envelope. So there's a pretty nice, beautiful little a card that someone's going to get, and they are just going to be absolutely thrilled with getting this card. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've got now the next 2 cards. I've already die cut everything, so it shouldn't take us too long unless I just talk too much. All right, so this is my Just Jade. I'm going to fold it in half. Normally, you use your you can use your paper trimmer if it's got a scoring tool or your scoreboard or whatever, and just score it at 4.25. I'm just going to fold it in half using my bone folder to give it a good crease. All right, and then we're going to bring in a piece of our Whisper White that's already been cut to 4 and by 5.25. All right, and I'm not going to attach that yet because I want to wait and do my I like to do my designer paper on top of my white paper or my cardstock. So here is, I'm pulling out the same design, and here's the back side. So you've got some plain colors in here as well. And this is the one, the butterflies are in the cloud. So we're going to cut this, and we're going to cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. So let me bring my paper trimmer in. Now, if you don't have a paper trimmer, this Stampin' Trimmer, the arm opens up to 17 inches. So those of you that might be scrapbookers, 17 inches is how far it will go up. And then it also scores, and scoring blade is the lighter one, and the cutting blade is the darker one. Well, thank you. Okay, so now keep in mind how you're going to do your card. So if my card is like this, right, then I want my 3 3/4 because I want my butterflies going this way. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 because I need my length to be 5, right? Now, if I was doing it like this, I would cut the paper at 5 inches. Okay, so we're going to cut this at 3 3/4. So I'm going to line that up on our there's 3.5 here, and we're going to move it over to 3 3/4. So anytime you're cutting, you typically want to come down 1/4 of an inch for your layers. Now you can do 1/8 of an inch if you don't want as much white or the other color to show. It's your preference. There's no right or wrong reason. Okay, so we're doing 3 3/4. So we're going to cut that. This piece you're going to save because we're going to use that to decorate our envelope. And then we're going to come in, and then you can decide, since there's not much here, I'm going to cut a little bit down off here because I want to have more of the dark above the cloud. So I'm going to cut this at 5 inches. So I'm going to cut that right there. And then we should be good to go. We're going to keep these pieces because we're going to use those again. So always keep your scraps because you never know. All right, so this piece is going to go right on there. Okay, now I'm not sure if I like that much white showing, so I think I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. I think that's a little bit too much white. So let's trim it. This is at 4. Let's make sure. Let's trim it to, I'm going to do 3 7/8, which is like one click before the 4. So I'm going to trim it just a little bit. I'm going to trim it off that much on that side, and then I'm going to do the same on, we're going to do this at 5 1/4. So I'm going to get that, let's see, we did that 5 1/4. So let's cut that I'm going to go right over to, wait a minute, where's my 5? 5 1/4, 5 1/2. So we're going to come down to like right there. I'm just going to cut a smidge off. All right, that's a smidge. Look what I found at the Dollar Tree the other day. Doesn't that look like one of our stamps that we have in the catalog? And the one that we could get in Celebration for free. Isn't that cute? Dollar Tree. I love the Dollar Tree. Hi from Idaho. Is that Linda? Did you feed your husband? See, I'm getting to know y'all. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that down just a little bit. I thought it had a little bit too much white. All right, and I think that looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and we're going to attach this. And then we're going to take a piece of Bumblebee cardstock and we're going to cut that down. I'm going to use my Tombow. And we're going to cut down the Bumblebee in just a minute. We're going to make a strip. And we're going to add some yellow to kind of pull everything together. So let's go ahead and turn this around. And we'll attach that on here. And I like that a lot better. It was a little bit, that was kind of a little bit too much white, don't you think? All right, so that's going to go there. And then we'll attach that in just a minute. Now here is my Bumblebee. But we're going to cut this down. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be 1 inch. Let's see. We're going to cut this. It's 3/4. I think I'm going to cut it 1 inch because my birthday barely got on there. So let's cut it. No, let's cut it at 3/4. Actually, this is, no, it is 3/4. No, it's a half. Let's cut it at 3/4. So let's do that. And we're going to cut this again at 5 because we're going to, I'm sorry, 3 3/4 or 3 7/8, whatever it is we did. So let's do 3 3/4. So let's do that. And then we'll cut this down. We're going to cut it down to 3/4 of an inch. Now the right side of our cutting board goes over to 1 1/4, 1 1/2. So I'm going to move this over here. It's going to be a lot easier for me to hold my paper. And I'm going to line this up at the 3/4 mark. And hopefully it doesn't move. And I'm going to push this down, make sure we get it straight, and hold it, and then we're going to cut it. And hopefully that gets us our right piece. Okay. And if it's not, we'll live with it. All right, so this guy is going to go right on there. Perfect. I just have him going right across the designer paper. Can you see? But we're going to stamp on this first. So we are going to take our Memento Black. Let me move that card out of the way. And we're going to stamp our happy birthday. And then we're going to color in. We got to do our butterfly, so we can't forget him. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so we are going to stamp our happy birthday on here. And I'm going to stamp it in the Memento Black. You can do whatever. You could do the jade if you wanted, but I'm doing black. And we're going to stamp that right about, I'm going to have to stand up so I can see so I get it straight. And let's see if we can do this right. If not, we'll flip it over. So I'm going to put that right about here. Let's see if that works. It's a little crooked. Let's try it again. If it doesn't work, we'll flip it over. I'll stand up and see. It's going to be kind of hard because I'm sitting in the dinette sections. You know how they are in the RVs, right? All right, so we're going to lay that right there. I think that should be straight. The wind has died down some, so I'm thankful for that. Okay, perfect. We'll leave it like that. That's the nice thing about having two-sided paper. So you just flip it over and stamp it again. All right. Now we're going to take our Daffodil Delight blends. I've got the light and the dark, and I'm just going to add the color on here to kind of blend with what they have. I should have brought the mango, but I didn't, but that's okay. I think mango probably would have been pretty. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of blending, and then we'll get this card finished up. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to make the insides darker, and I'm just going to play with these. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do here. I want this one to be dark. And then I'm going to come back, and I think I want this one to be dark too since I just did that one. I always talk to myself, so y'all will get used to it if you're new. I hope I'm not the only one. I think we probably all talk to ourselves, don't you think? Most of us do. I've never had children, and I've lived by myself for a long time, so I always talk to my dogs. And my husband now always never knows if I'm talking to him or the dog. So, okay, so I'm using the dark, and I'm going to come back with the light, and we'll just blend over it. And I'm using I'm using the small tip because my big tip, as you can see, it's kind of losing the ink. So I've got to figure out if there's any way we can re-ink these things. I don't think you can, but somebody might have an idea. So I'm just going to color the rest of this yellow with the daffodil. So I'm going to try to pull in some of the darker ink and just blend it around, and we'll see how that goes. And we'll just do that, and I'm going to leave his body the black looking the way it is, and then we'll just color this. And then we're going to fussy cut this out because we can. And it'll make it a lot easier. So this is we're just kind of using the colors that's in the paper and what the butterfly is. All right, so that's done. So we'll move that out of the way. We'll put him over there in this stack. All right, and then we're going to get our paper snips, and we're just going to start trimming around. So, all right, so is y'all's weather warming up out in the Midwest? I hope so. And you know what's funny is when it's going to be, it's been in this like 72, 73 here. And I'm not complaining because it's windy, but it's still, you know, we've still been able to go sit at the pool. But guess what? When we leave, it's going to warm up. It's going to go back up into the 80s, and the wind is not going to be blowing like it's blowing now. So, but that's okay. And let me tell you something. Since everybody, and Linda, since you just bought an RV, and anybody else that has an RV, since the pandemic has started and kids have been out of school, right, doing homeschooling or whatever, or online classes, you know, there's been a big run on RVs. So there's a lot of competition out now for getting camping, for getting your spots, you know, trying to get reservations made. So here we're at Boyd's Campground in Key West. We're on Stock Island, and every year you can book a year in advance. So for instance, like today is March 9th, right? So you can only book March 9th of next year. So they have got so many people that want sites. So based on the size of your vehicle, they're doing like a lottery. So my husband had to get in line at 5 minutes to 9, and they were given a ticket. So based on the size of your rig, then they look to see what spots they have available. So we booked for next year. Thank goodness we got in. They had one left for our size, and we're going to come down here for 2 weeks, and then we're going to go back to Palm Beach motor coach place that we just came from. Next year we're going to do that for a week as well. So just to let you know, you got to start booking stuff now if you want to go, because it's just you know, supply and demand, right? Okay, so we've got that, right? So let's go ahead and put this on our card, and again, I'm just going to, you know, attach it with our Tombow. And just to let y'all know, I'm just going to throw this out there. I've got a new online, well, it's an online class that's going to, registration ends tomorrow. So if you're a beginner, you want information on it, let me know. But it's no stamping. We're using one of the Memory and More card sets, and I'll cut all the cardstock, and everything is supplied, and it makes beautiful cards. So if you want to make beautiful cards and you're new at stamping and you don't have a lot of supplies, keep it in mind. It's only $38. That includes shipping, and all your materials are included. So if you want more information, you can message me and I'll send you the link. Okay, so we've got this stamped on here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this. Again, I'm just going to use the Tombow, and we're going to attach this. We'll pull it down just a little bit. How's that? We'll put it right about there. All right. But if it's something that you think you might be interested in, let me know. Tomorrow's registration ends at 11:45 tomorrow night. And then I will order all of the supplies. And then when I get home next Sunday, hopefully everything will be there when I get back. And then I'll get everything cut up and in the mail. So it'll be fun. It's a fun class, and it comes with a full color PDF tutorial. You're going to be making 8 cards, but you'll have enough material left over to make a lot more. All right, so I put 2 dimensionals on here, and I'm just going to attach my butterfly right there. Now, this one's a little bit lighter. Now, I'm going to take the inside. Now, remember that piece I told you we wanted to save, right? Well, we're going to put that on the inside of our white piece. So we never want to get rid of our scraps, because this we can put... Now, it's not going to go quite edge to edge, but I think that's okay. But again, it just pulls in the colors and the designs of our card. And I mean, how many times do people, you know, we make these things, right? But people that aren't crafters, they get cards in the mail, and they, you know, they'll be pleased to see that they got this card with this beautiful butterfly image, and you got the inside all dressed up and all pretty. All right, so we're going to put that there, and we're going to add this to the inside. All right. And then whoever, just keep in mind that your name could go in the drawing if you leave a comment, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and share the video or share the video. You don't have to do both, but if you do, that's awesome. All right, so there's our card. Isn't that pretty? Now, if we want to do the outside, now our butterflies, you know, they're going a little, we could do it like that. That might be fine, don't you think? So let's go ahead and decorate our envelope. Let me show you how we're going to do that. So I have this piece is what I cut it off, right? So out of that 6 by 6, I'll show you how much we're going to have left for a scrap. Now, I did not bring my stamp and seal, so we're going to use our adhesive. We're just going to put our the Tombow on here. So we'll just make sure we've got some good adhesive. And we're going to lay this, I'm going to lay it, let's see, which way do I, it really doesn't matter. Let's do it like this. All right, I'm going to lay it right here. So I'm buttoning it right up to the edge of the flap where it folds. So we're going to lay that down, and we're going to let it sit for just a second so this glue can adhere. And this Tombow gives you room to move it. So I'm moving it right up to the edge of that paper. All right, so this is the only scrap that you're going to have left out of your 6 by 6. So all you're going to do is take your scissors, your paper snips, and you're just going to follow along the outside of your flap of the envelope, right? And you just I kind of lean a little bit to the right, so I don't cut the envelope, you know, the tip of my envelope off. And then we're just going to flip this around. So here you go. This is the only scrap you have left, so you're not wasting. That's all you got left. Look at that. Hardly anything. So you don't have any paper. You're not going to be hoarding your paper. Oh, look at that. Whoever gets this card, is that not gorgeous or what? Beautiful. And then here's the inside. And then you can write your message, or you can stamp something, whichever you prefer. All right, so that's our first card. So actually, I like this one much better than I did this one. This one looks kind of hokey, doesn't it? So, but anyways. All right, so that's that. So we're going to move those off to the side. So that's that card. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Now, let's bring in the second card. It's going to be, now these are very easy cards. I just want y'all to know that. I'm kind of going back to the less is more thing. You know, sometimes we get caught up, and I've said this before, sometimes we get caught up in ourselves and we want to make everything look so beautiful and perfect, and, you know, it's like, it takes forever, and then it throws people off. So if you're just starting out and you want to learn how to do this, you look at something, you're going, oh my God, I can't do that. So here's the card. This is Thick Whisper White, and look at that. I'm going to show you how we're going to cut the paper. I've already cut out the butterflies, and there we go. Now, is that not a cute card? Beautiful. Okay. Now, when I stamped and colored those butterflies, what I did is I used the various inks and inked up each butterfly separately with it laying down, which you can do, or you can use your markers. And so I got all these cut out. So we'll figure out which ones we want to use, and then whatever's left over, we'll use them. I'll save them and use them on another card. All right. So, pardon me. It's supposed to be Thick Whisper White, but for whatever reason, I've got regular Whisper White. But if you're purchasing, it's going to be called Basic White now because our vendor went kapooey. So we cannot get our Whisper White anymore, but the Basic White is supposed to be just as good. Again, this is the same size. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and my bone folder, we're going to go ahead and score that and burnish it. So we've got a nice flat card. Now, we're going to pull in our paper, and let's see what we want to do here. Let's see. What color do we want? Do we want to do this? Let's do the same little butterflies. Let's do that. So because we don't want it to be overwhelmed, right? So let's pull this one out. I don't want it to be overwhelmed. I want the big butterflies to stand out. So there's our butterfly. Okay, so we are going to cut this paper. Bear with me a second. Let me get this back in here. I love this beautiful paper. I cannot believe that it's not carrying over. I just made that assumption, and I was reading something the other day in our website, and I thought, oh my God, it's not carrying over. Ah! Okay. So here's our butterfly. So the same thing we're going to do. We're going to cut this at 4 by 5.25, right? So let's move these little guys off to the side for just a little bit. Pull in our paper trimmer again. So again, I want my butterflies this way. So we're going to cut this at 4 inches because we want it yeah, let's do it. We're going to do 4 inches. We're going to do it this way. So we're going to do 4 across. All right, and we're going to keep this because we may use that again. And then we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this at, yeah, we'll cut off the bottom, 5 1/4. So we're just going to cut that right there. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to cut this in half. Let me think how I did this. Hold on a minute. I'm thinking I might have just screwed up. Hang on. I think I got to cut it a little bit. Hold on a minute. No, that should be right. Okay, we've cut it at 4. We're going to cut this at an angle. We're going to see what happens. So I'm just going to line up my tips right here in the track. All right, so I'm going to hold my finger on that one. And then I'm going to move this one down so it's middle of the track and hold that down in place. And then we're going to pull this down and we're going to cut it. Now I know what I did. I cut this wrong, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So I am going to come back. I should have cut this a little bit shorter. It should have been cut, I think, at 3 1/2. Let me see. Let's see. This is the piece that I had before. Yeah, I think it is. So we're going to cut that at an angle, right? Hang on a minute. I'm thinking. I'm talking to myself again. So if we do it like that, this is at 3 inches. Let's cut this 3-inch piece and see if this doesn't work. We'll figure it out. Let's cut this one. This is a 3-inch piece by. This is 3 inches by 6. So let's cut. So let's cut it down to 5 1/4. So we've got 5. I think it's supposed to be this 5 1/4. See what happens? Sometimes I confuse myself. Let's try this. See if this works. Either way, we're going to make it work. All right. So we've got our corners lined up in the track, right? So I want that corner there. I'm going to hold that one there, and I'm going to just slide that one over. Hold this, and we're going to cut. And if it doesn't cut straight, it's okay. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. It's going to work. We're going to have a piece in here. We're going to have us a gap. So I'm going to trim these down. There you go. We're going to do it this way. We're just going to make them longer. So there you go. We can have our butterflies like that. I'll turn the paper around. So it really doesn't matter. However you want to make these. If I wanted to use these, we could, but we'd want to cut them down because obviously this is going to take up the whole thing. So you could, you could do it like this, right? You could just place it like there and then have your butterflies right there. So it's however you want to do it, or you could put this piece here, right? And that's going to take up that side of the card if you don't want the edge showing, and put your butterflies here. But I like the corners. So let's do, and this one's going to go up this side. So we're going to make them long like this. This will be just a little bit different. I'm going to have these tucked right up to the edge of the card. And then we're going to put this one right here. And let's see. Yeah, we're going to do that. Our butterflies are going to be going, you know what? I think it'll be fine. And we'll just overlap our butterflies. What do you think? We could trim that down a little bit. You want to try that? We could be living on the edge. We could be like a daredevil. I think that's fine. Let's go with this. We're going to do this one. And I'll look up these measurements again and let y'all know if you like that way. But you get the idea. We're just going to cut it. We want to leave some space in between so that we can have our butterflies flying in between the butterflies. So it'll be fine. So we're going to lay this one here. Now if you can turn the card any way you want, right? So let's get this on here. And if we want to turn our card and we want it to go horizontal, then we can do that. So let's just push this down and we're going to move this over. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room. Let me lift this up and move it over just a tad. All right, so there's that. And then we'll take this piece. Well, hello from North Carolina. Is that, Pamela? I think it might be. Okay, so we're going to do this one like that. That'll be fine. I think that'll be pretty. It still will give the same. And actually what we can do is we can have it like this. I think I like it better like that. So let's do it that way. We'll just change the card position. And then we'll be good to go. So again, it's just another way that we can do this. And I use my tweezers because, as you know, I don't like getting this glue on my fingers because it sticks to you and then you can't seem to get it off. And All right, so I'm going to butt these right up to the edge of the card as well. So we'll get that on here. All right. And I think what we'll do is, I think we'll do it like this. This will be how our card's going to open. We'll do it this way instead of this way. Okay? All right. So we're going to take our butterflies. These I'll just use for something else. We'll do something else. Next week I'm going to have a new fun fold. We're going to make a box card, like kind of like a pop-up box, if you will. Okay. So what we're going to do is, now I had brought some foam adhesive strips, and I was going to, but I guess we'll just use our glue dots. All right, give me a second. I'm cleaning off my stamp set for 1 second. Okay, so all we're going to do now is we're going to add some glue dots. I did the foam strips because the butterflies are so big, it made sense just to use the foam strips, but I don't know what I did with them. So now we can do that. He looks a little too big, so let's kind of play. But we may want to have him, sorry, I moved, my paper's not stuck down, so, all right, so we've got all sorts of sizes. All right, so see the sizes that we have? I tried to do different colors of ink. So we could do, this guy would be pretty right there, right? Because he kind of blends. And we could put him there, and we should have done another little pink one, huh? And we could do the blue one. Now let's switch them. Let's put a blue one here, and well, I guess we could do you want a big, let's put a big one in the center. What do you think about that? Let's do the pink one. Let's put that like that. What do you think about that? How about if we do that? Now we want him here. What if we just did 2 butterflies? Do you think that would be all right? What's your all's opinion? You want 2? What do you think that would look like? And we'll kind of turn them a little bit out of an angle like we did. You think that's too much? I think I like the 2, but I do like the 3 though too, or also I should say. We could do with another green. I wish I'd done it in different colors. We could do this guy and this guy. I don't like all those greens. It's too many greens. That's let's see. Yeah, it's too many greens. I know, isn't this funny? I'm sitting here worrying about, what do you think about that? Or let's put him up here and then this green down here. Let's do that. You know, whoever gets this card's gonna love it, so it really doesn't matter. We spend more time worrying about it than we should, right? So I'm gonna put I'm gonna put some dimensionals on here. So for those of you that are new, this is what we go through, because I can never make up my mind. But it's okay, because it's your card. You do whatever you want. So I'm just going to put my dimensionals on the back of here. And we're just, because we want them to stand up. So we want them to look like they're flying off the paper. All right. And then we'll put one of these on the inside. So let's do that. Let's put our pink one up here. We're going to put them up there. Nah, we'll put him down here with these. Now let's put him up there. We'll put the green ones down here. How's that? Let's do that. Okay. That's what we're doing. So indecisive, I tell you. All right, so let's get that one. I'm going to put him down here. Let's take the adhesive strips off of these guys, and then we'll put them together. But isn't this a beautiful set? I'm so glad that they're allowing us to do this pre-order stuff. They just started this like last year, I think, allowing us to order. Actually, it was, yeah, because it was the curvy Christmas one that they did with the and then the other one that came with it. So I really like the fact that we can purchase something and well in advance. At least we get our money's worth, you know. Okay, so let's just do these 2. All right, so we're going to take the pink one, if I can get that one unstuck, and we're going to do it. We're going to open it this way. I think I'm going to put the pink one like this. I'm going to lay him right there. And then we're going to put the green one right behind him. And I'm going to leave a little bit of space, so we'll put him right down here towards the bottom. I think that's pretty. What do you think about that? And you could put a small one up there if you wanted. I mean, I could actually put this little blue one. But we're going to put him, we'll put the green, let's put the green one on the inside. Green's my favorite color. So let's put, we're not going to pop him up. So let's put him in here. And then we'll put him down in the corner. So let's just flip him over and we'll set him right about there. And if I let go of it and pop it down. All right, so what do you think about that card? That's cute. I like that one too. And this is the first one I did. And I'll go back and measure how I think I cut this a different size. But it's okay. I'll get that measurement for you. So those are the 2 cards that we did. Now, I don't believe that we'll have enough here. I don't think we have enough to do an envelope. Let's see. I'm pretty confident we don't. Yeah, it will leave a little bit. We could do it like that, but then you'd have a little bit of a strip. So we're not going to decorate the envelope on this one. All right. Okay, so that's our second card. So what do y'all think about that? Let me move my strips out of the way. All right, so that's the second card. And now we'll move on to our last card. Now we've got extra butterfly seeds, so now we can use these for another card later. Okay, now this one, this is using Magenta Madness. And, whoops, hang on. Oh, look there's my phone. I knew they were somewhere. All right, here's the card that we're going to make. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love the colors in this. Isn't this pretty? You like the 2? Oh, good. Thank you. All right, and then see this paper? Okay, so this is magenta, and then we're going to pull this out, and then I'll show you how I did this. This is the wood grain that it's a real thin paper that you can purchase. It comes in a 12 by 12, and there's 2 sheets in it. This will not carry over either. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull in our Magenta Madness. So let me get all my stuff here. We have our envelope, or envelope, however you want to say it. And this is for our birthday. And I've already cut out the 2 butterflies, so we're going to do the same thing that we've done with the others. Okay, now this one I cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, okay? So this is just a different way. And we're going to fold this in half, which would be at 5 1/2. So let me pull my paper trimmer in, and I'll go ahead and score it like we should be scoring it. Okay, so give me a second. Let's open this up. So we're going to lay the paper on here. And we're going to line this up at half of 11 is 5 1/2, right? So we're going to lay it right there. So we can get that lined up. And always make sure you got your lighter blade. This is the scoring. So we'll score it. And I always go back about 3 or 4 times because I want to make sure I get a nice crease in there. Okay, so we'll move that out of the way. And now we'll fold it. And again, I always, I don't know why I flip it over, but I do. And I just always flip it over, make sure my edges are even. And then I come down with my bone folder and give it a nice crease. Okay? All right. So this one, we're going to go ahead and add this piece here. Isn't this pretty? I love this paper. It's really pretty. The Magenta Madness, when we first came out with it, it was so bright. I was like, oh my gosh, but it kind of grows on you, you know? So now we need to get a piece of paper. So let's see what we want to choose. I kind of like that paper. It just kind of pulls all the colors in. So we're just going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull one of those. And I think you've got, let's see, there's 4 times 6. I think there's like 8, but 1, 2, 3, there's 4, what, 4 colors, 4 times 8, 5, maybe 5 colors. Anyways, so this is the back side. Isn't that paper pretty? So you could even fussy cut these out if you chose to do that. And then this is the color. This is what I like. So we're gonna pull our paper trimmer back in. So tonight he's getting a workout tonight. Okay, so we're gonna cut this at, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. So this one we're going to cut at, and it really doesn't matter because we got a splotchy design. So we're going to cut this at 3 3/4. We're going to come down because we want that to show. 3 3/4. We'll use that by 5 inches. So we're going to use both of these little pieces. We are going to decorate this envelope because we know we have enough to do that. All right, so now we're done with our trimmer. And we are doing good on the time. Look at that. All right, so we're going to add this. Isn't that pretty, though? I just love that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I could just use all the butterflies, but I was trying to do stuff a little bit different. So let's go ahead, even though we got to cover up these little guys. They're so cute. I love these. But next week, you need to make sure you come because we're going to do a new fun pop-up card. And I'm not sure what else we'll do, but I know we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do a couple of those in different ways. All right, so we're going to put that on here. All right, so we've got that done. And now we're going to add our adhesive to this. We have a squeaky door in case you heard that. it just decided to start squeaking when we got down here. It didn't squeak until we got here. I'm not sure why, but and we don't have any WD-40. Can you believe that? So I told my husband, I said, we need to get some of that and put it in the RV so we have it. Okay, so we're going to lay this right here. And there is our card. Isn't that pretty? I mean, look how easy this is. And I'm trying to keep things, you know, simple, but they look really elegant. And then we're just going to put some foam strips. Let's do our foam strips. We sell these. And what did I do with them? Hold on. I know they're here. They're hiding. Oh, see? Told you. The foam strips are just that. They're strips of foam. So I'm going to I'm going to attach this because I think it's going to be easier. And that helps pop them up. And then I'm just going to cut these down. And let's see. We'll just do a little bit this way. Just something different. It gives them a little bit, you know, same as using dimensionals. Either one, whatever you feel like using. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you feel like doing. So let's put him all the way here. And we'll cut that off. And let's put one on that wing and we'll cut another one. Because this is a big guy, so let's cut another little piece off. And this might be, I'm pretty sure it's, I don't think this is from one of my paper pumpkins. I think this is from our strips. Okay, so we have that. And you know what? I just realized I don't think I brought my little bling bling. I don't think I did. I'll check in my bag and see, but I just realized I don't think I brought my bling. Well, that's not very smart. I'll add it before the cards get sent out. So whoever gets the card, you'll get your bling. Okay, so let's change up the card. We'll put the yellow down here. I'm gonna put him right there. I've already peeled him off, right? I'm just gonna place him right there. Now, if you want, you could always have him. You could always bend up the wings a little bit. But since it's popped up, it shouldn't really add any more postage. I do this all the time and I never have. You could always just bend them up a little bit and we'll put that right there. Okay. Now, I forgot the bling, but this is the holiday rhinestones is what I used. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with the birthday stamp and the coloring. So we're going to take and we're going to stamp. Let me get, we'll use this piece right here. Let me get my birthday stamp that I cleaned it off. Okay. So we're going to use our Bumblebee. And then we're going to use our Magenta Madness. Now, we can do one of two things. You can either play with it and just kind of hold your stamp and do partial, or you can take your markers and you can color them. So we can color or we can stamp it on there. I'll do it both ways. How's that? I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take my birthday stamp. And I see that I've got my H right there, right? So I'm just going to hold the H where I can see it onto the magenta. Okay? So I'm going to tap it, make sure I get some ink on that. So I have my ink. And then I'm just going to come over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my birthday. Let me get in the camera. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. And then I'm just going to take the, see I got up to the H and the Y. So I'm just going to take the T and lay it there. So that kind of gives you that two-tone effect. And then I'm going to stamp it on here. And see how you can do that. Or we can do, let me show you with the markers. Let's close this up. And we'll do, let's do with the markers. Let me clean this real quick. And I'll just show you what we can do every other letter if you want. Let's try that, see what that, or let's do one word, one color, and the other word, another color. So let's do that. All right, so I have my magenta and I have my Bumblebee. Now, you do not use your blends on your rubber stamps because they will not come off. Just warning you right now, take it from me because I did it like an idiot. So, okay. All right. All right, we're almost done, ladies. I hope you're enjoying this. Okay, let's do happy, and we'll do happy in, since it's a little, we'll do happy in the honeybee, or bumblebee, honeybee. All right, so you're just going to color it with your marker. This is how you can get different colors. So you know what I did when I first started out, before I became a demonstrator. I went to a class, and we paid, it was a club, and I paid $25 a month. I had to order $25 a month to be a part of that club. And the first thing I did, because I'd never stamped before, I didn't have a clue what stamping was, but a lady I worked with, and some of you have all heard the stories, used to make cards and gifts and all this stuff, and I thought, what in the world? So anyways, to make a long story short, I was in this class, and the first thing I bought was the markers, because I learned that I could color like this, and I thought, well, shoot, I can't afford to buy all the inks at one time, right? So I ended up buying the markers. I think back then, this was 2011, I think they were like under $100. Or right at 99 or something like that. So I bought the whole kit of markers, and that's what I used. So I used my markers to do my coloring, and bought a couple of ink pads every month or so. So that's what I did. Now I'll flip this over, and I'm going to breathe on it because we want to re-moisten the ink. And I'm going to stamp it right on here. And there you go. So this way or that way, which do you prefer? Let's do this way. I think I like that one. All right. So that's what you can do with your markers. So that way, if you don't have a lot of money and you can afford at least to buy the markers, or you could buy the individual, 10 pack of each color family. And then this is a great way to start out until you can afford to buy, or, have get enough people to order so you get like a class or a party, and then you can get them for free. So, okay, so let's go with this one. So we're going to use the Timeless Labels punch, and I'm just going to lay this in here, and we are going to hopefully have it straight. Let me turn it so I can see it. I stamped it a little bit low, but that's all right. We'll be fine. And we're going to punch that out. And there we go. Now, as I mentioned, I don't have the bling bling, so I will add that when I get home, so that whoever receives this card doesn't miss out. And speaking of cards, let me tell you whose names are drawn from last week. From last week, it was Chris Thigpen and Karen Jo Young. I think I have both of y'all's addresses. I won't be able to mail these until we get back, because I didn't bring the mailing scale or any envelope. So I'll mail these when I get back. I'll mail them on Monday. If I don't have your address, I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a message. Okay, so congratulations, ladies. Karen Jo and Chris Thigpen. All right, so we're going to put 2-dimensionals on the back of this, and we are almost done. Now we got 2 things left that we need to do. And one of them is we don't have our bling, but we'll add that later. So we're going to put this right here. Now look at the difference. See just how much that little bling makes to the card. Isn't that cute? There's our cards. All right, now we're going to add our inside piece. So this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to take this little piece and we're going to run it right along the side here. So we're going to put that on the inside. Now you could put the butterflies on that inside if you want, but I'm going to keep it in the same, scheme. We're almost done, ladies. Actually, we'll be done by 8 o'clock. So I'm doing pretty good. And we're going to do this, and then we're going to decorate the envelope. I think we should have enough to do that. So again, this is just going to go right to the edge, and we will have it a little space on the top and the bottom, which is okay. So we'll add this to our card. And then you'll have a nice card that somebody will get. And you can put this on the inside if you want it on the inside of the card or the outside. I'm going to put it on the, so it's on the outside as far as the end. I'm going to put it right there. All right, and that's, all right, so there's that. Okie doke, so there's that card. And let's bring in an envelope, and look at that. We have enough to do this one. So we're going to decorate this. See what I mean about how you can use the paper? And you can actually, you can put the butterflies on here if you want. If you want to be a little different. Let's do the butterflies. What do you think about that? Let's do that. We could put the outside, which will match, but should we do the butterflies? Let's do butterflies. Why not? They're getting a butterfly card. So let's put that right there, button it right up to that edge of the envelope, and then we'll lay it down, let it sit for just a second so that can adhere, and then we're going to trim away. So There we've used up all of our 6x6 piece of paper. Let me turn it this way. It's a lot easier. And I kind of, again, as you can see, I kind of lean my hand a little bit to the right so I'm not hitting the envelope itself. And then we just come around the corner and cut that away. Whoops, almost cut the envelope. And there's our only piece that's left out of that 6x6 piece. All right, so this card, there's our card that we made here. Isn't that pretty? All right, so there's that one. All right, here, whoops, we'll take that one off. Here is this one. Hang on a minute, let me get my stuff out of the way. And then this is our second one with our envelope that coordinates. All right, so what do y'all think? You like those? Aren't these cute? They're so easy. So you can get these in my online store. Let me put you back. I'll let you. Isn't that cute? Aren't those beautiful cards? All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. Oh, you're welcome, Karen Jo. Thank you for watching and sharing. I hope y'all enjoyed these cards. I really enjoy, I just love making cards and sharing them with everyone. It's just so relaxing. And things hopefully in the world are getting better, but we always need some crafting therapy. So, you know, we got to do what we have to do. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to flip it back down so you see the cards. And isn't that beautiful how we can have our coordinating envelopes? Isn't that pretty? So this set's very versatile. All right, and you can find that in my online store. You can go to shallwestamp.com, and here's my host code, my shopping code. All right, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it for watching. Thank you for sharing. And Chris and Karen, you will get your cards, mail them out next week. Thank you again, everyone, for spending your Tuesday evening with me. And if I can help you with anything, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next Tuesday. Have fun and have a good evening. Bye now.